Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh my goodness, did you see all of the gorgeous Arcane Fiberworks yarn that my husband has recently gotten me? I wound some. Do you remember what this looks like? This is the Rising Phoenix, all caked up and ready to be something. I mean, that's a start, right? That is a start. Wasn't sure if I was gonna, and then here's the charcoal. Wasn't sure if I was going to wind up the I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost or this one. I might still go ahead and grab one of the I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost and wind that just to see what it looks like in the cake. It is luscious. So the smart me, we know the one that doesn't listen, the smart me would work on one of my projects that I have going on. The one that doesn't want to listen says, ooh, pretty. Look, it's so pretty. It's brand new. It's so pretty. It's like, I must do something. So, you know, I had to listen to that. Yeah, I had to at least swatch with it, see how the colors play. This one's the Rising Phoenix. Oh, avalanche, because I got the blanket over here and it is on top and avalanche. Okay, this is the Rising Phoenix in fingering weight. This is the Burning Desire in worsted weight. So you can see this got little black speckles. This one has more stripes, but they are gorgeous. Yeah, so hubby got me 5 of these and he said, oh no, it's first sweater for you. But I was already talking about, you know, the insanity of trying to make him a sweater with fingering weight yarn. Yeah, why I do this to myself, I don't know. It makes no sense. Just stop it. But that's what I do. Now, again, I was commenting on, and I just had avalanche of all my books, but that's all right. I was commenting on the smart thing would be to, oh, I don't know, work on this gorgeous sweater that I am making for him right now. And I love that type of a pattern. I really, really do. I like that. I call it like a thermal pattern, waffle stitch, something along that line. Love that. And he likes the shawl collars. Let me see if I have my book right here in this avalanche that just fell down. Is the right one here or is it a different one? There it is. So I know, I had them all stacked up precariously on the edge of a chair. That's a really smart move, don't you think? So the one I'm working on for him right now is right here. Love that. And love this book for that matter. This is my 3rd sweater out of this book. So I'm doing that. And this is nice because it's on, I don't know, 7s or something like that. Yeah, worsted weight yarn. Size 4s for the cuffs. And then popped it up to, like I said, I believe it's 7s, might be 8s. Can't see it because it's that tiny little, oh, it is, oh, holy cow. Okay, I'm working on 8s. 8s is nice. I'm learning this, right? So it does go faster. I have the body of this done. Here's the first sleeve. Yay! And I've got the yarn wound for the next sleeve. This is, that's the end of the first, that's a full skein of yarn right here. There. Words are hard sometimes. So that's a full skein of yarn. There you go. Finish that one and then, you know, whatever, right? And then being appropriate, I wound the next one. I'm ready. So again, the smart thing is to work on that because that's good. The body to the underarms are just about there and one sleeve is just about there. I mean, let's work on it. And I think I've got 4 skeins into it, something like that. So, you know, I've got 8 skeins. I think it's going to be like 7-ish. So I'm about halfway done-ish. You know, I'm like, whatever. That's a good accomplishment. Yeah. But if you've been around for a while, you know I don't always work on the logical route and I don't always work on the sane route. And sometimes I do things that just don't make sense. But I have to follow rules every day at my job. And I have to follow rules in life, in a lot of things. We all do, right? And if you didn't know, I was prior military, so I definitely had to follow rules. So in my crafting world, I'm like, I don't want to follow any rules. Are you kidding me? No. Now, sometimes that works out to my benefit and I come up with some beautiful things. Other times I work on something diligently and it's great and I get really, really far in it and it just never gets finished. So it's yarn ready to be reclaimed into another project. It doesn't diminish the fun I had. It just, I don't end up with a finished project or product at the end. That's okay. You know, that is okay. I had fun. I learned. I played. So what I'm working on right now, of course, I had to grab size 4 needles. Oh yeah, the reason why. Okay, so do we remember seeing this one? This is my sweater. Okay, I love it. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. Scandens, I think is how you say it. This is the Arcane Fiberworks, same yarn. Used size 4 needles, fingering weight yarn. Love it. So when I finished this, and then I finished my husband's last sweater using worsted weight yarn, I realized when I held up the bottom edges, now this is a little bit more stretch, but I held up the bottom edges of both, they were way too close to the same size for my comfort. You know what I'm getting at, girls? You know what I'm saying? So it helped me in one aspect, because earlier in the year and everything, when I worked on 2 of his sweaters, yeah, I'm working on his 3rd sweater right now, and thinking and contemplating on casting on number 4, because again, I'm a little crazy. So when I did the first 2, I don't know what I was thinking. I did gauge swatches. Gauges lie. We know that, because, you know, I do a swatch. It's this big. I don't wash it and do all the other things too. I know you're supposed to. I don't, right? It's my choice, and sometimes it will bite me in the backside. Yeah, and it did. I cast on and I got a full skein into the first 2 sweaters and realized, oh my gosh, this is huge. What was I thinking? And had to rip it all out and start over. On the 3rd one, I threw caution to wind, copied the other ones, then I added 4 stitches to it and freaked out, because I'm like, oh no, I did it again. That's this one. It's fine. It's fine. So that one I didn't have to pull out. So I'm thrilled, right? That's great. Now you think about it, it's worsted weight yarn. You're not casting on as many stitches because it's bigger. Now, when you do something like this, it's hundreds of stitches per round. It is. And if you get 5, 6, 7 inches and realize, oh, that's too big, that's thousands of stitches. I mean, it's okay, because the yarn's amazing, right? It is absolutely wonderful to work with, but it can be very discouraging. So I'm looking at this, and you know, it was really close to his size on that bottom. So I had him try it on. Yes, I did. I had him try it on. Now, I knew it was going to be tighter on him. That wasn't the issue. It wasn't, hey honey, wear my sweater, we can swap sweaters. No, I can wear his, it's bigger on me. He cannot wear mine. It's not quite right? You know, it's a little too tight up here. The belly and the chest area is a little bit tighter, but the fact is he can get it on, and it's not, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? What it did show me is kind of an idea of how many more stitches to add. I mean, you know, we want it to drape a little bit. You know, he doesn't want a big flowing tent, but he doesn't want it that tight either. But it really helped out immensely for me. So this is 252 stitches on size 4s, but it's a stockinette. Well, stockinette stitch is a little bit bigger, wider than the typical waffle type stitches that I like to make for him. You noticed? Yeah, I think the last 3 sweaters, they're all waffle stitch. And so what am I looking at right now? A very similar pattern. Is it the exact same? No, but it is extremely similar. This is knit around, and then the next round, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 all the way around. That's what this is. So, you know, you're alternating with that, and it gives that wonderful, wonderful effect. Love that. So I like variations of that. I think it's very classic. I think it looks very nice. It's manly, etc. Got it. So I took my yarn and I thought, all right, I'm gonna do a gauge swatch. Just now, the pattern I have in mind says 24 stitches, 27 stitches to 4 inches, so many rows, blah blah blah. Got it. Well, I just did a gauge swatch of 24 with size 4s just to see, just checking if I even like the way this gorgeous yarn works up in a pattern, because you're like, wait a minute, that's a highly variegated yarn, and maybe a textured semi-pattern stitch won't look as nice. Maybe you do want to do stockinette. It's kind of like, would I want to do cables with this? I love cables, right? Would I want to? I don't know. Because sometimes if a yarn is really busy, you're putting a lot of time and effort into something that is not going to show to the best of its ability. It's not a waste, but it's just not going to show as best as other yarns. So you might not want to put in all that extra work that people aren't really going to be able to see. You're not going to be able to see and enjoy. So I started my little gauge swatch. I did just a few rows of just garter stitch just to see if it'll flatten out, and then like 4 rows of stockinette, and then I started the pattern stitch that I'm looking at. And now, obviously, if I do this in a actual sweater for him, the colors are going to line up a little bit differently. Let me see if I can get this close without, okay, so you can see texture. I love that texture stitch. This, for the 24 stitches, is as is laying flat, squashed in a little bit more. It does stretch to the same size as the stockinette. You know, and well, if you put pressure on fabric, it's going to stretch. So it does stretch to the same. I don't like it as much stretched. So, you know, that takes into account how many stitches I may or may not add. I counted here 252. You saw the picture, right? With the 252 on my husband, we know we're going to add. We have to add. The pattern that I'm looking at, I can go 264, 288. I think that's my sweet spot, you know, or higher, or I can just wing it and do my own thing. You know, use the pattern as a guideline because that's what they are. I'm going to show you the picture and you're like, isn't that the same thing as all the other ones that you're making? Don't bother me with the details. Are you kidding me? Don't be all judgy. I mean, you know, like we all have our things. We like what we like. So this right here, you're like, that is exactly what you've been making, only it's in fingering. Well, I'm aware of that. We have our types. I like this. Pretty sure he's going to like this. He loves the shawl collar. I asked him. When I had him try my sweater on, he's like, yeah, you know, obviously it's not long enough. He's like, it's not long enough. Well, of course, it's my sweater, not his. Of course, you know, he's not wearing it in public. You know what I mean? Just like, try it on for having to help out, but it's not going to be his. It's my sweater. And obviously the arms were too tight. And then the collar was way bigger than what he would want. Of course, that's the nature to show you that the yarn stretches because it doesn't fit on me like that. But then again, I'm not stretching through here on that sweater the way he is because he is bigger than I am, right? So yeah, this is what I'm looking at right there. I really, really like that style. I like that style. I like that. He likes that style. What took so long on his Saint Nick sweater is it was a crew neck. That's the sweater in the Viking book that he picked out. And then when I did the crew neck, he's like, "That's the collar's wrong. I don't really like it." So it took a little bit of adjusting for him to be comfortable with that, you know. But he prefers. We have types. We have types. That's just all there is to it. Things that we're drawn to, and that is what he really enjoys. So I showed him my tiny little swatch. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, there you go. You can see with the light a little bit, you know, how that works. I showed him my tiny little swatch and he's like, "Oh, I do like that." He liked the way it felt. Surprisingly, he liked the drape. One of the things he's commented to me before is on a lot of my things, I'll use a looser gauge and more of a drape, and as he calls it, see-through fabric. It's not really see-through, but I get what he's getting at. On my things that he doesn't want for himself. He wants it more solid, more dense. So he does like that. Now I'm back and forth to contemplating the stitch count because I really don't want to start and do 288 or 300 and some odd stitches, get so many inches of it and go, you know, it's just not quite right. Let's rip it all out. I mean, I've done it and I'll do it again. I mean, I'm not saying that that will never happen, and I'm not saying I'll never do that again because that's a lie. Not intentional lie, but that would still be a lie. Let's see. This is a free pattern. They do have it in multiple languages. And what are we saying? Okay, so it is 288 stitches. The next one would be 312, and the next one would be 336. So you're like, that's a lot of stitches per one round. Per one round, that's a whole lot of stitches. So yeah, I'm kind of contemplating on that 288, and the reason I'm waffling, you see what I do there? Waffle stitch. The reason I'm waffling is I like how that looks without being stretched, how that texture comes in. Now, granted, if you put it on and there's not enough stitches and everything, it will stretch like this over top of whatever part of his body's larger, right? That it does the same with me, it does the same with you, right? That's how that works. I don't necessarily like it as much stretched. The color's beautiful, that's not what I'm getting at, but I love the texture at more relaxed. So that would be the only thing that I would look at on maybe going up to 312 stitches, and this is where I get myself into trouble. Oh my gosh, is it ever? But I took this And I measured, you know, I took some pins and everything and I measured 24 stitches and I laid this on it because this is 24 and I had to go like that to make the 24 and the 24 equal, right? So they had to be stretched. So what have I learned from this exercise? Yeah, what have I learned? That I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I learned. I know what I'm trying to get at, but I'm not really sure. I could do a larger gauge swatch. That's not the problem. I don't want to right now, but I could do a larger gauge swatch. I mean, you could do something and everything and turn it into like a mini scarf. I don't want to do that. I want the yarn for a specific purpose. I have 5 skeins of this and I want to use it, right? It's plenty, by the way. This, I used all of the 4 skeins, right? So I have 5 skeins of the Rising Phoenix and I have 2 skeins of the charcoal. And then my husband, when he's watching, because he watches all my videos, because he's my biggest fan, because he's absolutely amazing. When he was watching me open up the yarn that he got me, I heard him in the other room going, "Hey, did you need some more charcoal?" And I was not quite awake and I'm thinking campfire charcoal. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I said, no, I'm good right now. Because I swear he was about ready to put another order, right? I think he's got more of an addiction than I do, and I'm not going to squash that. I'm just saying, I'm not going to squash that. I'm not complaining. I am blessed. But I don't necessarily need charcoal right now. I've got the 2 skeins and I haven't, you know, I just wound it. How exciting. And I've got this, but will I need more? Yes, because it is such a wonderful base color that goes with so many of the other colors, right? And yeah, it really does. So I'll end up getting more. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt. I will get more to match some of the other yarns that I have. Is it urgent right now? No, but I will definitely get some more. Do I have enough right now to work on what I have? Yes, I do. So that's where I'm at. Oh, and you want to hear something else insane that I was thinking? I probably shouldn't repeat this. No, I shouldn't. Okay, so I weigh this. So your cakes of yarn, when they say they're 100 grams, and this isn't, Tyler or anything like that, because he obviously has a supplier and sends him yarn and everything. Sometimes they're over or under by a couple of grams, just letting you know. So if you have a pattern that is, oh my gosh, I have to have 100 grams exactly, weigh your yarn, because you might be in trouble. You might not realize, you're like, but I got a full skein, right? So this one is like 97 grams. Might be 98. I'll have to measure it again. Okay, so it's a little under, not a problem. But what I was thinking in my brain, I shouldn't say this. A sweater challenge. You guys want to do a sweater challenge with me? Sweater challenge. And whatever you use, and truthfully, it would be so much easier if you did worsted weight. I'm not going to lie. So sweater challenge type thing is, and I haven't cast that on yet, 10 grams a day. 10 grams, okay? So obviously on the fingering weight, it's gonna be a little bit more work to get 10 grams. I did weigh this without the needles. I did weigh this little swatch right here. This is 24 rows, 24 stitches. Yeah, that's what that is. There's over 500 stitches right there. That little itty bitty tiny piece. It's not even a square, the little tiny piece. Okay, and I weighed that. And it said it was 2 grams. Now, granted, I mean, in that lower amount, I don't know if that just hit 2 grams or it's about to hit 3 grams, right? I don't know. So that makes a difference. But just doing the simple extrapolating math, that's about 10 rounds of if I cast on 288 stitches. That's what I would need for the 10 grams, right? It's about 10, we'll see in actuality. But wouldn't that be cool doing 10 grams a day? Okay, and then maybe you could get that done. If I need 5 full skeins, I could get it done in 50 days, right? From start to finish. That's if you didn't miss any days. But I would want to take a day off, so to speak. I mean, I'm always knitting and crocheting. We know that. But, not like such a taskmaster kind of a thing. If I were doing that 6 days a week kind of a situation, how many weeks would it be? And I would have a fingering weight sweater for my husband's size done in that gorgeous pattern. Yeah. So I was thinking, kind of noodling in my brain, doing a sweater challenge, whether it's fingering, sport, whatever, but put 10 grams on it. Measure it out, weigh it, weigh your ball and everything. It's like, hey, my ball right here, this part right here weighs 95 grams. Weigh it out and everything. All right, let's figure out where's the 10 grams at. work it up, you know? And if you're using bigger yarn and bigger needles, you'll get 10 grams faster. It's true. If you're like this, I'm telling you right now, it's amazing using size 4s as opposed to my suck yarn, because when you're using size 1s, it takes longer to go through 10 grams. How do I know? Because I've weighed it before. Why? Because I'm insane. I like numbers. I like spreadsheets. I like graphs. In a previous life, I actually wanted to be an accountant. And that is before all the computers did it for you. That's when you had ledgers and you hand wrote things. I'm that old. It's true. Okay. So yeah, that is my insanity. So far, I have staved off starting this because I was happy with just my little piece. I mean, I just did this. I enjoyed the stitch. I'll show this to my husband too. I mean, are they similar? Yeah, because again, we have a pattern, we have a thing. So this one, you can see you've got that little bit of purl in between the straight up and down the stockinette stitch, right? So you can see that. And now, so let's see. Let me see if I can hold these together without. Don't lose them. Don't lose them. All right, I got this. I got this. I have things in my head. They must come out sometimes. Okay. All right, so you see that they're similar, right? You've got more of a valley in here because you do have between the column on this one, you have 3 stitches, and it's not all just 3 solid purls. You're alternating, whatever. So you do have a little bit more of a valley here. Love that. So more texture than you do here, but you can see definitely similarities, right? Love that combination. Love that stitch. And did you notice just the subtle black in here? It's just got little tiny speckly pieces. So if you're looking for something like that, I mean, just fiery. I mean, that is just amazing. I think it's going to be great with the charcoal. Where'd my charcoal go? So this is what I have left of this sweater. Did I just drop my other one? Where did I put it? It was right here. I was told my room's a mess. I kind of have to agree. All right. This one was here, and it's all I have left is 8 grams. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Look at this. Okay, so this is 8 grams right here. This is 8 grams. I'm talking about doing 10 grams a day on a sweater challenge. Still noodling it, right? Like, ooh, got a lot of stuff going on. But that's 8 grams. That's doable, right? You know, just a little bit more than this. See, that's not like, hey, work this up in a day. That ain't happening, you know? But just to show you, look at this. So this was a previous order. This is the latest order of charcoal. These are hand dyed, kettle dyed, everything else. Gorgeous. But just to show you some of the variations that can happen. And just to see, okay? Just right there. So when you are ordering, and I'm not a salesperson and not trying to do this and everything, but if you are ordering from anybody and it is hand dyed, it is advisable to get however many you need in one order, okay? Because that person, again, doesn't matter who the hand dyer is, they may have a recipe to kind of replicate, but things will be from batch to batch, even the same things that they dye in one day. A lot of times they'll dye 5 skeins in one vat. So those will be, you know, the closest to similar. And then one next to it might be just a little bit different. They're cousins. That's all there is to it. There's cousins. I just wanted to show you that difference right here. Stunning. That is stunning. And all the variations, I mean, you can see like the little bit of white flecks and the variations, and it just really adds to the entire piece. This skein, doesn't have as much of the lighter. I mean, it's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, 8 grams, 8 grams. That's how much I'm talking about, right? Just there. You know, and for that matter, could do it going, okay, sweater challenge, go through 8 grams a day. Why? Because that's what this ball is, right? We can do it. It's like a little mini, right? You know, a lot of times if you buy stuff from different companies, they have the minis, and a lot of your minis are 10 grams. That's what I'm talking about. It's a mini a day. You can put it on there, right? A mini a day. Now, granted, all my stuff I'm talking about is coming off of here, but that's the whole concept. Add a mini to your project, you know? And yeah, there you go. I'm gonna noodle that. I'm gonna noodle that and everything. And I'm gonna try to resist casting on right now. I am. I'm gonna pick up his other sweater. Yes. I will. More than just touch it. Oh, one of the other ones I did pick up my cardigan, and I went to add another skein of yarn because that one I finished one full skein of yarn. I was going to add the next skein, and you know, I pulled the guts out of that ice yarn that I'm working on. and had a little yarn bark, that's okay. But I didn't like on the inside how the darker brown was what started. And I didn't want to cut off the yarn. I could have, I got plenty of it. But so then I wound it and put it into a cake, and I got that ready. See? So it's darker brown on the inside and it's the lighter on the outside, and I think where I left off, the lighter might be better, but I wound it. That's a big cake. It's 540 meters of like sport weight yarn. So yeah, I'm still playing with yarn, even if I've not gotten any progress done on it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm still doing it. I'm still touching my yarn, and life is good. I have worked on another project. I'll show you that probably Sunday. I did work on another one, and I have been very diligent on it. I just took a break with the new yarn coming in, and really wanted to see what it looked like wound up, and just play with it. So that's where I'm at, and just trying to figure out how many stitches it would be, where it would be at. And I was really curious, with that highly variegated yarn, how would that look in a textured stitch? And I personally think it looks fabulous. And then, can't believe I'm saying this, would I want to make it in the round or convert it to panels? That's crazy. And the reason I'm commenting on that is this particular pattern, if you're working in the round, or back and forth, which is what I'm doing here, you're doing predominantly knit. You've got some pearls in there, but predominantly knit. Now, if you do it in the round, you're going to be alternating rows, where one row is predominantly knit, the next row is predominantly pearl. So it really depends on how much you enjoy purling, whether you would want to do it in the round or doing the panels. And panels means you would have to sew it up and try to do a good job on your seams. Yeah, there is that. There is that. But the other thing that doing something in panels, it adds structure up the side, right? So there's good and bad on both. There's stuff like that. So I have some decisions to make. I don't know if you have done a lot of sweaters and you're good at the construction and everything. Give me some advice. Even if you haven't done a lot and you've done something and you've learned something, that would be amazing too. Because I'm doing like everybody else is, and I'm learning. And I like to think I'm getting better from sweater to sweater, piece to piece. Sometimes it might not look like it, but in my mind, I really am. And I think the reason is it's perseverance. I'm not going to give up. There was a full decade I didn't make a single sweater. I wanted to. I kept saying I was going to, and it just never happened. I could not bring myself to finish a adult sweater. Couldn't do it. So I think this last year, if you've seen all the sweaters that have come off my needles, it's like the dam has broken, and here we go. All the creativity, everything yarn buying purchases, like, is it a sweater quantity or the stranded knitting? Oh my gosh, that has just been taking me by storm. I remember years ago going to different yarn events and seeing people do stranded knitting, and just being able to do it so easily, so calmly, have a conversation with you and still doing it and holding the yarn in both hands and everything else. And I was in awe. And they're like, no, it's really easy. You can do it. And they're showing and everything, in awe. And I'm finally doing stuff that they showed me, you know, like a decade ago, decade plus. Am I as good? No, doesn't matter. I'm persevering and getting there, you know, doing that whole learning process, and yeah, just enjoying one step at a time on that. And I really did start small. A little tiny motif on a hat, a little tiny whatever, working on things to where I got to this sweater, which I would have never attempted previously. There's just no way. Oh, that's too hard. I can't do that. But you know what? I can. And so can you. Perseverance. That's it. How long did I work on this? Oh, I don't know. January to August. Did I need to take that long? No, but other things jumped in the way. But again, perseverance. It got done. There you go. Who cares? You know, when I wear this, which I haven't worn it for a full day yet, more than just trying on because it is warmer, when I'm able to wear this to work and it gets a little bit cooler, nobody's going to say, yeah, but it took you 8 months. It should have taken you 6, you know, or whatever. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to do anything like that. That's the internal stuff that we do to ourselves. perseverance. It's done. And I tell you what, when I put this on and I wear this and I'm walking to work or wherever I'm wearing it or what have you, I am going to be like 10 foot tall and, you know, head held high, shoulders back, chest out, walking straight, you know, the whole thing, and feeling very regal and like a queen, you know, and being this is the busy bee color, I'll be like the queen bee. I mean, that's, there you go. It'll just do everything because it's one of those, I did it myself. And, yeah. There better be somebody asking me about it. And if there's not, it doesn't matter. I'm advertising. I made it. I made it. I made it all day long. I'll be like, I made it. I made it. It's mine. I did it. I made it myself. Oh yeah. That is 100% perseverance. You can do it too. You can 100%. You can do it. So it took me 8 months. It's stunning. Who cares? Who cares? It's 8 months. Big deal. Whatever. It's done. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I don't wear that tag, you know, like on jeans on the back that tells you what size you are, right? I don't wear that tag on the sweater that says, oh, this took 8 months. No, of course not. It's just gorgeous all by itself. All right, everybody. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.